Hey squids, welcome to my YouTube channel. Firstly, I'm going to show you the new hoodie that I got. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see, but I actually love it. It's my favourite thing ever and I'm going to be living in this. Anyway, I thought I'm going into year 13 next year and I thought I would see if I could give you guys some tips and tricks on joining, well, like on sixth form or joining a new college, because I went to a secondary school and then I switched for college, so I can tell you about joining a new school and also just general advice for starting off A-levels. Obviously I haven't done my A-levels yet, I'm going into year 13, so I can't, probably not too helpful, but thought that because I can't tell you how well I've done, but I can just tell you what helped with me moving schools and meeting new people and doing A-levels and what I've noticed so far to be very helpful for that. So I would say when it comes to like if you're moving schools, then like making new friends and stuff. I went to my school, I knew two people from my secondary were going. One of them was like one of my best mates and the other one was someone that I was like friends with, but we weren't like close, we were just kind of like friends, you know. And then I knew a couple people that I had met at parties and things that were going that I was like kind of friends with, but like, you know, not really. So like so the people that if I saw them I would like say hi, but I wouldn't like, you know, like we weren't like close, whatever. And so I went in, I knew a couple people, I like had a couple familiar faces, but there's also 2,000 people in my college, over 2,000 people, and it's only 2 years, so it's a big year, to the point that I'm going to leave the school and still have never spoken to like over half my year, because it's just huge. Like there is over 1,000 people in my year, which is crazy, like crazy, because that's more than a lot of schools and that's just my year alone. But yeah, so I would say make friends when you're in your classes, so when you like meet your like tutor, your form group, like with everyone, just chat to people, try and be as friendly as possible, just get people's snaps, like so you have like familiar faces and people that you can message. Like I remember when we got my timetable, I become friends with two girls in my form, because I was like, there was some like seating plan thing that our teacher gave us and whatever, and we were like sat next to them, and we had become made a little group chat for the three of us. We like sent through our timetables and I worked out who I had when I would have frees with them, and with all the people that I knew I worked out who I'd have frees with. So I knew, because at my college we don't have a lunch break, you just have lunch in your frees, and so I could work out who I could have lunch with and like all of that sort of stuff. And so I'd like, yeah, so just like become friends with anyone, because you know you want to have people that you can hang out with. You don't ever want to feel like there's no one there, so it's good to just like meet as many people as possible, so that eventually you'll find someone with the timetable similar to yours that you can then meet up with in your frees and stuff. So like in my classes I was like, I've got a funny story actually. In my first maths lesson we just kind of sat down randomly on tables, and it happened to be that on the table that I was sat on there was 4 girls and 1 guy, and at the end of the lesson I just went and asked for everyone on the table snaps, because as I said, just trying to make friends, just trying to have people that if I got lost or something, even I could message them and be like, hey, like I'm in the canteen, can we meet and go up to maths together, sort of thing, just like whatever. And so I was like getting all the snaps, and the guy that was sat there looked at me thinking that I liked him or something, and was like, why do you want my snap, and like gave me the dirtiest look ever. He never sat on our table again. But us 4 girls, we've stuck together. He moved to a different table and has not come back. I have not spoken to him since. So not everyone wants to be your friend. That's okay. Not everyone needs to be your friend, but it's good to just get to know as many people as possible right from the get-go. And it is really scary walking into that class not knowing anyone, and you're like, it's so daunting just walking into that class. But just whoever looks like they're going to be friendly, go and sit to them, just get talking, just be as friendly as possible, because making friends is definitely like, it makes it so much easier. And then also because we've all come from different places, you can then meet their friends. So like my first ever lesson that was like an actual lesson was economics, so I went to the economics class, I sat next to this girl, we were chatting, it was a double and we had a break in between, and so in our break I then went and I stuck with her, and then I met all of her friends. And so I then automatically, just in like the first hour and a half of being in proper school, I had met like 20 people, sort of thing. So like it's just, yeah, just stick with them, meet their people, meet other people, like just do everything you can, join sports clubs. I don't know, I feel like these are generic things everyone says, but I think that makes it so much less scary knowing that the next day when you come in, there's someone that you can travel to school with, and there's someone that you can meet once you get to school and walk to a lesson with, or just like anything like that, you know. I think it makes it so much less daunting, and so the first like couple weeks so much easier. I haven't written anything down, I'm just thinking of what comes to top of my mind, so I'm probably gonna end up thinking of more things and just like filming more clips and then trying to like add it all together, and this is probably gonna be really chaotic and lots of me rambling because I've just spent 5 minutes rambling about making friends, which I feel like is quite a basic thing, but yeah. I would say for A-levels in general, and not just for people joining a new school, is like be organised. So my college tell us to do 10 hours a week of each subject, and like 4.5 of those are in lessons, and then the rest of them they expect you to do out of lessons, and some of that is homework, some of that is independent study. I'm doing 4 A-levels. I don't have that kind of time in my week to be doing the 40 hours, which I know is a normal job, but like I also do other stuff as well. I've got a job, I've got I do sports like 4 times a week, I've got like other commitments, and so for me 40 hours is quite a lot. But it's just like an aim, it's a general thing. Also, I just wouldn't recommend doing 4 A-levels in general. 30 hours isn't that bad. Spread out over like the 5 days, you still get your weekends off, that's only 6 hours a day. It's not too bad. That's like a school day plus maybe an hour of homework when you get home. Like, it's not the end of the world. I would recommend just being organised, getting into a routine, and then doing your work, but then also just trying to do some extra stuff on the side, because that's what our college recommends to us. Not gonna lie, I say this, haven't been the best at it. It's hard, especially because you're in year 12 and you're like, it's fine. I still have like, at the beginning of the year, like, it's fine. I literally had 2 years until A-levels. It doesn't matter what I do now. But you don't realise how much content there is. You do not have time to review everything. Like in lessons, but also just in general, when you're revising, you do not have time to review everything. For my end of year exams, after 1 year of content, I didn't have time to review everything. So let alone with 2 years of content, like there is so much, to the point that I have like 20 hours per subject of homework that I need to do this summer. Like there is so much. It's crazy. And so it's just a matter of even just like little and often, which is what I found in my January exams in economics. I got an E. Cute, I know, right? In my end of years, I got an A. I did not revise before the exam because I was away and I was busy and it was all very complicated. I still managed to bump up 4 grade boundaries because I was doing little and often each week. On top of the work that we were already set and whatever, I was doing an hour to 3 hours a week of just reviewing over everything in general. I was using this thing called Uplearn, which thankfully our college provided for us, because apparently it's like £200 a month. So don't necessarily recommend that if you don't get provided it, but that's what I was using because we did, and it is amazing if you can. Just like an hour to 3 hours a week. So that's not that deep. Like you could do like 20 minutes a day, and that's already like a lot, you know. That's like, what is that, like 2-3 hours a week, you know? It's like even just like 20 minutes a day just reviewing over like a little section of each topic sort of thing. It's not that bad, but it adds up to working, and genuinely that is the only reason I moved from an E to an A, because I did no revision before the exam. Nothing. It was on my second exam of my end of years, and I like had no time to do anything before it. That was all I'd done, was for like 3 months just little and often, and it was life-saving. So I would just like, I mean, obviously don't stress past it too much, but that's what I would recommend, is just each day or each week doing a little bit of your subjects, reviewing over it, because it means that you still remember the contents. Then when it does come to actually revising, you can just do exam questions. You don't have to reteach yourself the content, because there isn't enough time to reteach all of the content. And so if you do it so that if you review over it enough that you can remember the content, then when it comes to the exams, all you need to do is just exam questions and practice the structure and that sort of thing, rather than like, yeah, like you get what I'm saying. I hope you get what I'm saying. But little and often, genuinely saviour. I'm trying to think. I probably should have planned this out beforehand and worked out a couple good tips, because I've literally rambled on for 10 minutes and I've only said 2 things. Oops. Another thing I would do for like revision and things is having a look at the spec and working out what stuff you're better at and what stuff you're worse at, and then prioritise the things that you're worse at, because it's long and it's a mental battle, but that's the stuff that you need to work on the most. But then also don't forget about the other things and only focus on that stuff, because if the things that you think you're good at come up in the test, but because you haven't revised it, you can't remember it, you will like kick yourself afterwards. You'll be like, I know this, why have I, like, if only I'd spent just a couple minutes reviewing over that, I'd got like an extra 5 marks sort of thing. And you don't want to be in that situation. So make sure that you look at everything, but just prioritize the stuff that need it over other stuff. But yeah, I would just like to say it gets a lot harder, A-levels versus GCSEs. Like, not to scare anyone, but it does. It's a lot harder. I mean, I'm definitely in a worse situation because I'm doing an extra one, but it gets a lot harder. And it's just a matter of trying to stay motivated, but also make sure you leave time for other things. Like, I go out every weekend without a doubt and meet up with friends, because most of my best friends don't go to my school. So without a doubt, I will be meeting people every weekend, going out in the evenings, having fun, doing this and doing that. Like, yeah, but it's just, you can do that and you can still have a social life. It's just a matter of working before. And like, I think what I've done to my spot, what I'm trying to organise in my head is I'm only allowed to go out if I've worked before, and it's like a kind of reward for getting hard work done. So if I know that that week I've done my hour of homework every day after school when I've got home, then I can go out on the weekend and it's fine and I don't have to stress about it, because that's 5 whole hours I've done during the week, plus add on whatever I can slot in on my Saturday and Sunday for like an hour or two again. That's, you know, that's a whole extra 7 hours of work and whatever. And if I've done that, then I can reward myself by going out. But it's just a matter of like, you need to think of what ways can motivate you to work, because some people are really good at getting motivation to work themselves. And it's also different because I'm at college and not at a sixth form, because at a sixth form they are a lot more on you about stuff, whereas at my college, like, if you don't do your homework, it's not that deep. As long as it gets done eventually, it's fine. Like for psychology, they check about once every 3 or 4 months. Whenever we finish a topic, they'll check through and just make sure that everyone's up to date, and that's it. So you could not do any homework for a month, but then suddenly they're checking and you're like, oh my god, I've got a week and now I've got a month's worth of work to do. So it's like making sure that you're motivating yourself because you don't have people on your back. And then if you leave it, which is what I've done before, and you leave it till the end, and then suddenly you have so much to do and just physically not enough time to do it, and it just stresses you out and it like will ruin the week and whatever. Like it's not good, and it's just better to be on it from the start and just keeping up to date with stuff. And it's finding that thing that motivates you. So for me, it was, if I do that, if I get my work done, I can go out. If I don't get my work done, then tough luck. Which I haven't, I'm starting that now. I haven't done that before, so I can come back to you and tell you if that works or not. But it's just fun. Also for other people, they have the motivation. What I tried at GCSEs, I remember, was stuff like every 20 minutes I could have like a chocolate coin, or not 20 minutes, every however long it was, I could have like some like little bit of chocolate or something as like a reward. And like I came up with like a reward system for myself, sort of thing. It's just stuff like that, finding something that will motivate you to actually work. And it takes a bit of trial and error and working things out, and I'm still doing that now, but get started on it as early as possible, because if you can work out for you how you know when you work best early, for uni you'll be set, because you already know. And that is the whole point in school, is it's just learning how to learn, which is what my dad always says, learning how to learn. He doesn't talk like that anyway. But yeah, and so it's a matter of learning what works best for you and what makes you work best. And so for me, I know that I can't work at home. I know that when I come home, I'm like, oh, let's have a snack, chill out for 20 minutes, and then I'll do some work. That 20 minutes end up being 5 hours and I get nothing done. For me, I need to go to a cafe or go to a library. I know that I need to go somewhere, because when I'm at home, I will not do anything. And that's something that I've worked out over the last year or two. And it's just for you working out how you work best and what motivates you to do it best. And once you've worked that out, you are set for life, because in school you have people on your back going, you need to do this then, you need to do this, that, whatever. And in life you don't, and it's just a matter of working out how you can stay motivated and actually get things done. And it's hard, but it's worth it. I'm so sorry, I've actually been rambling. This is like kind of long already, but I've only said like 3 things, so I feel like I need to come up with more. I mean, there's like the obvious stuff that you see everywhere, like staying hydrated and healthy diet, sleeping's important. Don't stay up on your phone until 3 a.m. every night, because it just doesn't work, especially when you have plans on the weekends. Like I work Saturdays and Sundays, I don't get a lie-in. So if I stay up late one night, I am not sleeping in until the next holiday that I get. I don't get a lie-in. It's rough, it's really rough. But like, and even if you like do maybe get a day, like you're just gonna like be tired. And obviously every so often it's fine, but if it's like a daily thing, that's just, you're not gonna be doing your best. If you want to do well, don't do that. And I'm assuming that anyone tapped on a video with tips for whatever I'm going to call this, then like you clearly care a bit and want to do well in school. So just don't, like, obviously everyone gets distracted and loses track of time, guilty, but just try your best, okay? And that's the thing as well, it's like getting into a good routine, so working out how your evening routine and a morning routine that works for you, and also when you work best as well, because I forgot to say that before. I was saying about where, but when, because I know that after 7 o'clock my brain turns off. I can't focus at all after 7 o'clock, and so I need to work during the day. Some people are good in the morning, some people are good in the evening. My dad, when he has work to do, will wake up at 5 in the morning and just knock it out before he goes into work. Like, I couldn't do that, because waking up at 5 in the morning, who do you think I am? But some people are better doing it in the morning. I know quite a few people at my old school that would wake up at like 5 before their GCSE exams to revise for everything. Well, not like go over stuff. Like, yeah, it's just do like work out when, and that is the whole point, is it is trial and error, so that when you get into the real world you have tried and failed and you know what works for you. And so try different things, try waking up early, try working later, try working during the day, try finding this and that and different places and different things and whatever, and see what works best for you. Also, revision notes, waste of time. They might look aesthetic, they might feel productive, they don't help you remember anything. You can make revision notes, just turn it into a Quizlet. That's what I've done for psychology. I basically, everything that I would write in revision notes, I've just turned into a question and then answers. And these Quizlets have like hundreds of things on them per topic. Like these are long Quizlets and they have taken me hours to make. But it means that then when I'm doing my 20 minutes a day of reviewing psychology, I can go over the Quizlet and just refresh my mind on some of the topics. So then when I get to, sorry, I feel like I have eyelashes, guys. I swear I have eyelashes. I don't know why they're not coming up. Anyway, but then when I get to the revision part of whatever exams I have coming up, I know the content. As I said earlier on, like, I know the content. It's just a matter of doing it and practicing it. And so making stuff like revision notes, but turning them into flashcards or a Quizlet instead of just reading through notes, like, it's so much better, because reading through notes does nothing and you're going to get hundreds of pages of those. So just don't bother, because when you look at a stack of 100 pages of revision notes, like, don't. Obviously make notes in lessons, because how else are you going to make the flashcards if you don't have the lesson notes? But don't just rewrite notes, because what's that doing? Literally what? Unless you've got photographic memory, and then go kill yourself, because lucky. I'm joking, I'm just jealous. So some more tips for sixth form. I would get 3 or like a folder per subject, like the biggest ones you can find, the ring folders, your bold ring folder things. No, it's not ring, lever arch folders. Get 3, the biggest ones you can find. Do like maybe different colours or something, and keep those at home. You'll probably need a year 1 and a year 2 one, because you get a lot of stuff, but leave those at home, and then get like a small, I just had like a plastic wallet thing, and then you can bring that in every day, because bringing in the whole folder, like, that's so heavy and use up so much room, and no one wants to do that, and you don't need all of the stuff anyway. Just bring in like the current topic or whatever in a smaller folder, bring that one each day, and then just like put it into the main folder when you get home. I would also just try and stay organised. If you're like, just keep your notes clean, just try and keep everything organised, because the more work you put in year 12, the less work you have to do in year 13. So if you like kind of make some flashcards and you make your folders usable and like everything, post-it notes, things like that, then when you then come to revising, it's all there in front of you and you don't have to waste any time doing it. So it's really helpful. Like, ultimately, just have fun, enjoy it. You're only 17 once, so enjoy everything. But just, yeah, try and be productive when you can. I've got so much work to do, I'm probably not the right person to be giving advice, but just do what you can and pray. I think I've sufficiently rambled for 20 minutes. I can think of some more, and comment down below if you want a part 2 with more thought through stuff. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and hope you have the best hope you enjoy the rest of your day, week, month, year and life. Wishing you all the best of luck. Yeah, thanks for watching. Support your girl out if you like the video by subscribing, commenting, liking, all of that faff. Yeah, let me know if you'd want a part 2. Cute. Also, if you think it's interesting, I can make a slightly more GCSE targeted video on, yeah, tips for GCSEs, revision timetables. I don't really know, that sort of stuff. If you'd like. I did fairly well in my GCSEs. I got 7s and up. I got 4 9s, 2 8s, 3 7s. So if you want, I can let you know my subjects and things as well, give you subject specific revision. Yeah, I mean, I did them over a year ago now, so I don't remember everything, but I can let you know what worked best for me and the stuff that I remember, if that sounds interesting. So just comment down below and let me know if there's anything specific that you'd like.